Hi, Adam. It's so nice to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this afternoon in Chongqing, you just allowed in this afternoon the European business in China position paper 2020 to 2021 has been issued. Could you tell us how have the annual paper helped to improve the environment for the European companies in China?
So the theme of this year's paper is the urgency of reform. Every year we see small improvements in the environment, but we still think that despite China's commitment to opening and continued reform, that it's happening at too slow a pace. We think there's a lot of areas in the economy where we could create a more level playing field and we could have greater participation of the private sector, including both the domestic Chinese sector and the foreign sector, particularly European companies in our case.
And can you give us some single case or some examples?
So the medical sector, medical device healthcare sector in China, we've made huge investments in China. European companies are providing innovative and cost-effective solutions to many of the health issues that Chinese people are facing. But there was a trial project that happened recently whereby they wanted to limit the number of fapiao or invoices that a company could issue. And the consequence of that is that it affected the ability of medical device companies to distribute their products as widely as necessary in China to meet their customers and to provide the servicing and the education that normally goes with those products. So the medical device sector, for example, is it's a complicated environment where there's many contributors to providing the full usage of those devices, and so simply limiting it to two sales in China before reaching the end user had a big impact on the overall quality and servicing that those medical devices are intended to have. Okay. And so what happened was they piloted it, but after feedback from our industry and others, and with our paper, they finally realized that this was not the best way to address the needs of this sector. And so they rescinded the policy. And this means that we're able to provide the products far and wide with the servicing they need. A complicated issue, I know, but many of these issues are. I think many people often think, well, you know, China's opened up, and so what's the problem here or there? But there's still many regulatory issues, like the one I just gave you, that goes to show that simply because a market opens doesn't mean that companies can fully still participate.
What are the highlights in this year's paper?
Well, again, the urgency of reform we're really looking for is more opening, the continued level playing field. We want to see continued opening, strengthening of the foreign investment law. We'd like to see an agreement between the EU and China on a comprehensive agreement on investment. And we also want to celebrate and promote the successes we have had, such as the recent signing on geographical indicators last month.
Based on the position paper this year, could you tell us some challenges and opportunities showed in the cooperation between China and the European companies?
I think one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest benefits of our paper is that it provides an independent voice of how business is being affected. I think in China right now, not a lot of voices are being heard that need to be heard. And we offer this independent voice to outline what they are that can be used by both the Chinese government and the European government and European countries as well. Hopefully so that we can move closer towards greater cooperation. I think it's extremely important at this point in time because we're seeing a lot of geopolitical issues affect the business environment in ways that they haven't before and they shouldn't be. And there are a lot of questions right now about how European companies are investing in China and if they should continue to invest in China, given some of the geopolitical issues that are making the headlines in Western news. But the reality is the European companies that are here in China, they want to continue to be here. They want to continue invest, but they need to be able to justify their presence here. And so some of the political issues really do need to be resolved so that they stop affecting business.
This year has been a quite tough year due to the pandemic. What experience have been learned and joined from the cooperation between China and the European companies at this special time?
Well, the wonderful thing is when China was first affected by COVID-19, Europe rushed to China's aid and to China's side and provided over 1 billion RMB worth of support towards China. And likewise, when Europe was affected by COVID-19 as well, China in kind also sent many, many masks to many European countries as well. So that was appreciated. But with a pandemic like this and with any international crisis, of course, one of the most important things is communication, timely communication and transparency on the issue. So I think the world is learning from this, global crisis that we're facing. It's another reminder of the importance of international cooperation and of the importance of the relationship between the EU and China.